outside war up. Sing it loud. To the Romeo Foxtrot, shall we dance?
Since this actor is one of the highlights this week, let's start with a quote from his most iconic character. "I know I'm not the rat, so that means the only one I can trust is me." Does anyone know who said this? Remember Mr. Pink from the cult classic Reservoir Dogs? Good evening, my friends. The weekend has come to an end, and with it comes the second part of our weekly news segment, What's New with the News? For today, the spotlight is on cinema. In movies, we have the usual horror titles and a romantic comedy featuring a trio of top-tier actors. There's also a biopic, Steve Buscemi, our very own Mr. Pink, in a role that suits him perfectly, and a spy thriller starring John Cusack. On the TV side, we have an interesting mix, starting with the highlight of the week, the second season of the best Star Wars series out there. Then there's a new Hulu title promising intense emotions, and we wrap it up with a brand new Netflix documentary produced by Guy Ritchie. Oh, and the best part? It's based on true events. Still not convinced? YouTube, what about you? April seems packed with great entertainment options, whether at the movies or on TV. While you decide what to watch, go ahead and start the video. And let's start with the usual horror title. The trailer for It Feeds has been released, showcasing a horror film directed by Chad Archibald and starring Ashley Greene. The story follows psychiatrist Cynthia Winstone, whose life changes when a young girl claims to be haunted by a demonic entity. The terror intensifies when Cynthia's own daughter is also affected. The film premieres on April 18th.
Don't be scared. It's worse if you're afraid.
This next title has a powerhouse trio. A24 has unveiled the trailer for Materialists, the new romantic comedy by Celine Song, director of Past Lives. The film follows a New York City matchmaker torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex, with Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal in the cast. Filming took place in 2024, and the release is scheduled for June 13th. A24 will release the film in the US, while Sony Pictures handles international distribution.
And because they're hopeful.
We're used to seeing this actor in alternative and charismatic roles. The first trailer for Psychotherapy, a dark comedy starring Steve Buscemi and directed by Tolga Karaselik, has been revealed. The film follows a writer, John Magaro, in crisis, who, while trying to finish a book about serial killers, receives unexpected help from a reformed murderer. Things get complicated when his wife, Britt Lower, mistakes the reformed killer for their marriage counselor. Psychotherapy premieres in New York City theaters on April 4th.
This will be the best thing I have ever written. I even thought of a title.
What is it?
Of course, we couldn't miss a title from the land of the rising sun. The first teaser for Ravens from Japan, a biopic about Japanese photographer Masahisa Fukase, directed by British filmmaker Mark Gill, has been revealed. The film, which blends dark fantasy and romance, stars Tadanobu Asano and premiered at the Austin Film Festival. Set in the 1970s, it explores Fukase's relationship with his wife Yoko and features striking visual elements, such as the enigmatic presence of ravens. The film is set to premiere in Japan in March 2025. Netflix has accustomed us to these intense action titles. iHostage is a Dutch thriller on Netflix, inspired by the 2022 hostage crisis at the Apple Store in Amsterdam. Directed by Bobby Bormans and written by Simon de Waal, the film follows a Bulgarian man caught in a hostage situation during a violent robbery. Produced by Horizon Film, the film premieres on April 18, 2025. Netflix is betting on this project as one of its biggest Dutch releases.
Ooit houdt het op. En vandaag is die dag gekomen.
And we end with a spy film featuring yet another charismatic actor. Fog of War is a World War II mystery thriller directed by Michael Day, with a release expected in spring 2025. The plot follows a wounded American pilot and his fiancée, an OSS agent, who seek refuge at a remote estate in Massachusetts. They discover a Nazi spy hiding among them and must unmask him before it's too late. The cast includes Brianna Hildebrand, Jake Abel, Mira Sorvino, and John Cusack.
Some people just don't have what it takes.
Can't let it end this way! Shut the gun!
How about we start with a title produced by one of Britain's finest masters of the moment? The Diamond Heist is a new true crime docuseries on Netflix, produced by Guy Ritchie, about the attempted robbery at the Millennium Dome in London. The crime, considered one of the biggest heists in history, is recreated with striking visual impact and testimonies from those directly involved. Ritchie's signature style is present, making the series engaging and full of action. The premiere is set for April 16th on Netflix.
A big, exciting story.
You're fucking right.
Finally, Prime Video steps in. The Narrow Road to the Deep North is a miniseries on Prime Video based on Richard Flanagan's Man Booker prize-winning novel. Starring Jacob Elordi, it follows Dorigo Evans, a doctor who becomes a prisoner of war and is haunted by a forbidden love. The series, filmed in Australia, explores his journey from war hero to a respected surgeon. The 5 episodes will premiere on April 18th in Australia, New Zealand, and Canada.
Memory is the only true justice.
An emotional journey of self-discovery with Michelle Williams? Yes, please. Dying for Sex is the new Hulu series starring Michelle Williams, premiering on April 4th. It's available now. Based on the real-life story of Molly Kokan, it follows a woman with terminal cancer who leaves her husband to explore new experiences and rediscover her identity. Inspired by Nikki Boyer's popular podcast, the series delves into themes of empowerment and desire. The cast also includes Jay Duplass and Jenny Slate.
It's being very bad.
As expected, we have the live-action adaptation from Japan, the live-action adaptation of Takako Shimura's manga. Even though we're adults, will premiere on Hulu Japan on April 26th with 12 episodes. The series stars Mizuki Yamamoto and Chiaki Kuriyama, exploring the complex relationship between Ayano and Akari. The cast includes Shogo Hama and Yumi Aso, with direction by Atsushi Kaneshige and Miyumi Sadaya. The production is by AOI Pro in partnership with Padma.
好きな人、その夫、義理の母、私、ちゃんと笑う。
Once again, Prime Video with a unique theme, dance. Étoile is a new series from Prime Video created by Amy Sherman Palladino and Daniel Palladino, the minds behind Gilmore Girls and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, premiering on April 24th, 2025. It follows the exchange of stars between 2 prestigious ballet companies in New York City and Paris. Mixing comedy and drama, the series stars Lou Delage, Charlotte Gainsbourg, and Luke Kirby.
This is wild.
And we finish with the return of the best series in the Star Wars universe. Disney Plus has revealed the official trailer for the 2nd season of Andor, which will culminate in the events of Rogue One. The season promises to intensify the relationships between the characters, with Cassian Andor becoming a key player in the Rebel Alliance as confrontations and betrayals increase. The season will feature the return of Ben Mendelsohn as Director Krennic and the droid K2SO, voiced by Alan Tudyk. The premiere of the first chapter will be on April 22nd, with new episodes released weekly.
I came with you to be part of something.
Get up with the House of fucking Commons or take it up the arse for all I care. I want what is rightfully mine by divine motherfucking provenance, yeah? I've been stabbed in the heart. I've been London Bridge.
Of course, we had to end with a quote from this TV series. You just walk in like you belong. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house. Finally, the second season of Andor is just around the corner. And you, what did you enjoy the most? On the big screen, we had another spine-chilling horror title, a romantic comedy featuring 3 Hollywood heartthrobs, a biopic about Japan's most famous photographer, a story based on true events packed with action and tension until the very end, and John Cusack playing an elite spy. On the small screen, every streaming platform had its moment in the spotlight. Netflix introduced a new true crime documentary produced by Guy Ritchie. Hulu brought us a new series starring the great Michelle Williams. Prime Video unveiled its latest show about classical ballet. And of course, Disney Plus delivered the highly anticipated second season of Andor. Not bad for a Sunday video. Give the video a like, share it on your social media and with your friends, and we wish you all a great start to the week. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the world of news in style. See you then, everyone.